Hello, everybody. This is, I guess, a walk and talk or a podcast or whatever I end up titling this. I'm just, I'm going through a bit of a midlife crisis. And I'm only 29, so I don't even know if it's a midlife crisis. I guess it's closer to a quarter life crisis. That's kind of being generous. Probably more of a midlife crisis. Car going by. I just had another death in the family. 29 years old and another death in the family. Those are getting a little more frequent the older I get, which I suppose is what's supposed to happen. Or, maybe not supposed to, but what's bound to happen is people die a little more often. But it just worries me. So the one that died recently, I won't give out names, but it was my mother's cousin. Not sure what that makes her to me, but she's the same age as my mom, and that makes me worry about whether or not my mom will be going soon. Which, goodness, my mom's everything to me. She really is. I was always a mama's boy. And that worries me. But as we get older, we lose people and we gain people, and I haven't gained as many people as I'm losing. Which, at least not people that will outlive me. Which is concerning, that I might die alone, even though I'm in a relationship, because my partner's older than me by a bit. I don't know. Guess this just counts as therapy session or whatnot. So I guess if I had any advice to myself, make friends with people who are younger than you, or be kind to the younger generation, because you don't want to die alone. I regret not having kids. I regret it so much. I'm still at an age where I could, but I've already found a partner. So we're just not going to have kids. Which makes me think I don't want this life to be without some merit, some usefulness. Because for most people, I would imagine having kids and instilling their values into the next generation is the most useful and worthwhile thing they do. For most people. Although I'm not in a situation where I can do that medically or otherwise. So that worries me, and I think, well, I'm 29. This is about the time people Usually, if they're gonna go back to school, the old cliche of, oh, they're 30 and they're going back to school, and I don't even know, that's a cliche, but going back to school as an adult, which I think about because right now my life has very little usefulness, very low on the income, which I know money's not the end all be all as far as happiness goes, but it probably factors in a tiny bit when you have difficulty paying your bills. I just worry, and it's probably just because there was a death in the family, and the closer it gets to my personal circle, the more it'll worry me. It's almost as if life is preparing me for when a real tragic death happens, which I guess is pretty common with people. They're more closely related to, in terms of their social net, the people that are their same age. So older people are more on the fringes of their social group when they die, so it doesn't impact them as much. I think about that sometimes, how life works out to people dying at the rate you can handle it, and about how I've made friends with some older individuals, so I might experience that a little sooner, but that's okay. I also think about the phrase memento mori. You know, you are mortal, you shall one day die. And I think to myself, will I look back at this life and find it worth it? Because I've had, suicide attempts, because I certainly thought it wasn't worth it at certain times in my life. Still sometimes don't. And one of the eye-opening experiences I did was I planned my own funeral sometime earlier this year, and started paying it off and all that jazz, doing the responsible thing, because there was a death in the family last Christmas time, and I was just like, well, I don't want to be a financial burden on anybody. Probably not the financial decision to make, honestly, but it's going to end up happening no matter what, so gotta pay it off sometime. Figured I'd be responsible about that. It'll take 10 years and it's only been 6 months. Worst case scenario, I can always call them and lower the payments or ask to skip a payment in a month. But I'll get a better paying job eventually, or more hours at my current job. It's okay. It's okay. As you can tell, my anxiety's probably up a little bit, and depression's up a little bit. But like I said, I just wanted to walk and talk with y'all. I know there's only 4 subscribers, and I'm one of the subscribers. And I don't know who y'all are, or if you're just bots. But I do appreciate y'all. Sorry this episode is such a downer. But there's a bright side to all of this. Despite it all, I still have the best hope for humanity. I think in my darkest moments, the light comes out, and that we as a human species will one day transcend our human form. And I think it will be through technology, most likely. As long as we don't self-annihilate, we will transcend into the realm of the gods. I don't know if this is through AI, robotics, genetic mutations, gene manipulation. I don't know how we'll do it, but my scientific argument for heaven, as it were, would be completely stolen from a people watching episode. Old channel. It's a good channel. My people watching episode about heaven. This character has a near-death experience, and her argument for there being a heaven is that everything that humans do that we're the best at is defying nature. We do things that are impossible to the rest of the natural world. Everything that exists in mythology sorry about that. In mythology and fiction, slowly but surely becomes reality. We didn't have enough food, we found ways to harness the food. We didn't have the ability to control the weather, now we have the ability to track the weather, and we can even mildly control it with cloud seeding and whatnot. We can't learn all the languages, we have translates. We can't take down animals, we kill them with rifles and bigger weapons. We slowly but surely overcome the natural world. Everything that exists in mythology and fiction and religion eventually becomes reality. We're good at problem solving things we don't like about our current situation. As a society on the whole, most of the eggheads are doing it. So what is the ultimate problem of reality? That we die. So, one day, we shall transcend that. We will figure out how to solve death. And to die is to find out if humanity ever solves the problem of death. Not just for those who die, but for those who have ever died. Because that would be our ultimate goal. That would be our ultimate accomplishment. To transcend our human form. And since heaven doesn't exist to create it in our image, as our image was created in us. I don't know what that last line means. But that's my hope. To die is to see if humanity ever conquers death. Well, everybody, I'm coming up on a stop sign, so this seems like the correct time to end this podcast. I hope it's decent quality. So remember, you too shall one day die, and to die to see if humans ever conquer death. Live, my friend.